Thank you, CCFP, for this incredible honor. When my son Daniel and I were putting together Schitt's Creek, it was important to us that the town of Schitt's Creek was blind to color, religion, and gender. That was at the root of what our show was about. It was creating an environment that most of us long for, and yet is virtually impossible to find. Wouldn't have found it on the 405 overpass last week. I don't know how to break this to people, but the Jewish population of Judea was not responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus. Pass it on. I have a quick story that I'd like to tell you if you'll indulge me. When I was in my fourth year high school back in my hometown of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, thank you, I started amusing myself by writing these goofy little pieces of literature, and I use the word literature loosely. I filled a booklet with these things, and I would title them and sign off each piece with by E. Levy. For instance, I wrote a piece called Ode to a Frenchman, and went like this. Oui, oui, mais non. C'est-elle, n'est-ce pas? Comme ci, comme ça, hi, ha, ha, by E. Levy. Okay? Now, that's the backstory. So school elections were around the corner, and I thought I would run for president of the student council, not because I thought I'd be a great president, because I was almost certain I wouldn't be. But the thought of creating more of these inane little pieces and seeing them up on giant posters hanging on every wall in the school, that was reason enough for me to toss my political hat into the ring. So I got to work creating these posters. Now, I don't know if there's anybody out here tonight as old as I am that remember the show Superman, TV show starring George Reeves. Okay. Well, every show started with a crowd of people looking up to the sky and pointing, and you'd hear, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. So I created a poster that read, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Levy. No, it's a bird. By E. Levy. Vote Levy for president. I had dozens of these ridiculous things hanging on the walls. So one morning, I walk into school, I look up, I see my favorite poster. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Levy. But Levy was X'd out, and a Jew was added. And my heart stopped. Every one of my posters had Jew scribbled on them. Now, my first instinct as a 17-year-old was, okay, you know what, that's it, give it up, take them down, let's not go through this again. And then anger took over. So I left them up as is. Now, the day before the elections, the candidates got to address the student body in the school auditorium and lay out their platforms, and I got up, and my entire speech, which I happened to save, comprised the following. To those of you who took such pleasure writing Jew all over my campaign posters, I have this to say. You speak truth, because I am a Jew. But scribbling Jew on my posters is also a reflection of who you are. And if you can look at your own reflection and still like what you see, then you are a lost cause. And I feel sorry for you. And with that, I left the stage And the next day, I got elected. Now, I was such a terrible president. I mean, it's not. But what I took away from that as a 17-year-old was, wow, if you can actually get people to a point of feeling shame for their own despicable thoughts and actions, or for following the despicable thoughts and actions of others, then that can be a giant first step in turning heads and eventually in eradicating hatred and bigotry. But 58 years later, turns out it's just not that simple. So one of the things we can do in the entertainment industry is try and show those people what the other side can look like through the stories that we tell, what a world without bigotry can look like. Show them what their own reflection looks like, and hope that when they do see themselves, they won't like what they see. That's what Daniel and I tried to do on Schitt's Creek, and fortunately, it had resonance. And of course, that is what CCFP is doing as well. So I thank you for this incredible honor, which I will cherish. And as we say in Canada, good on you.
Please welcome to the stage Creative Community for Peace Director